So we talked about what a salesman is, but if I was to ask you what sales is, what would you define what is a sales? What is selling anything? What is sales? Transaction, persuasion, what else? Transfer of energy and emotion. Change, good. So you're not going to find this in any book because this is a formula that took me 17 years to figure out. Everything I'm teaching you guys is not based on a theory. It's based on the actual experience. Sales is the art of blending complete opposites. You see, what I do is I communicate and I persuade. What is communication? Communication is not what I say, it's not how I say it, it's how I can make somebody feel. Persuasion. A lot of people think persuasion is a bad thing. It isn't. What persuasion is asking the right questions to solve somebody's problems. Who knows the only objection that a salesperson faces? Trust. I heard it. Trust. The only objection you face is trust. But if somebody fully trusts you, does that mean they're going to do business with you? Who said yes? Yeah? Somebody fully trusts you, that means they're going to do business with you, right? Right? You got to earn their respect. Perception is such an important part of being a good professional. When somebody can perceive you as the professional, that's when they're going to do business with you. You see, I earn their trust, but I also have to earn their respect. When we talk about blending complete opposites, you see, I'm aggressive, but I'm kind. I'm assertive, but I'm nice. I'm egotistically humble. Probably never heard that one before. How many of you guys have ever heard ego's a bad thing? Right? There's two different types of ego. There's ego drive and there's ego destruct. Ego drive is the way that you envision yourself. Like we talked about, when Mike Tyson walks into the ring, he knew he was going to win that fight before the fight started. I'm a beast. Right? I'll be humble at home, but I'm not humble in the ring. When I go to the field, I put on my cape. I look at myself like a prize fighter. I'm putting my family on my back. I'm putting McCarthy on my back because I need to be able to do these things to set up my future. How many guys don't even have kids right now? I don't have kids, but that's one of the who I'm working hard for right now. I don't have any kids, but I'm working hard so that when they have all these games that I'm able to go, teach my kids sports and all that kind of stuff. But I'm putting in the work now. Going back to those decisions you make, decide your wealth. So attitude. We talked about the technique, the attitude. A salesperson is first off a person that can sell themselves to themselves. They have an absolute catching belief about their product, their service, their company. Well, I'm going to tell you something. Every single one of you is supposed to have a good attitude when things are going right. The question is, can you have a good attitude when things are going wrong? When things aren't going your way? You see, too many salespeople and too many individuals, like I said, they suffer from self-doubt while others are intimidated by your full potential. You can sit there and you can pick yourself apart and you can say, oh, I could be better at this, I'm not good at this, I'm not good at that. I would tell you from this point forward to stop focusing on the things you do wrong, double down on the things that you do right. Watch what happens. Leave it to mentors to help you to get better. But if a salesperson is first off a person that can sell themselves to themselves, the problem with that instruction is people go into sales or they get into something, they're like, I'm not good at this. Right? People already knocked these doors. This area is saturated. I don't know if this is the right job for me. Right? And they go back to their job, they're just over broke or in a situation where they live week to week. I'm telling you guys this because you're most qualified to help people that you used to be. Right? Watching my dad live week to week. That shit sucks. It's just struggle, right? But when you can set up your future with an opportunity, and if I can be blunt with you guys, for anyone that was shared this opportunity, thank those people, because if they didn't, it would have been selfish of them. I think about what would I have done if there was no such thing as sales, if there was no such thing as this opportunity, I don't know. I had a 1.8 GPA in high school. When we talk about a practicing professional, why would a practicing professional spend so much money on a reception area? What do you think a practicing professional would spend so much money on a reception area?
Is that time?
First impression, what?
Time?
Well, it's an extension of themselves, right? So they want to be represented well.
You want to be represented. You walk into a doctor's office, they got a fresh fish tank, you're like, dude, this doctor's fine. He's got cool fish. Think about it, right? Does that mean that the doctor's fired? He could be this like, dude, I don't know much about being a doctor, but load that fish tank up with fish. Make sure it gets cleaned every single day. Okay, so situation, right? How many of you guys have never visited North Dakota? Okay, pretty much the whole room. You're in North Dakota, you're on a blitz. Junior sends you there. He's like, dude, we got a fresh market. I need you guys to go rep in North Dakota. It's the middle of the night. You're starting to feel sick. You're like, dude, I gotta go see a doctor. You Google it. You type it in your phone, doctor. There's a doctor 16 miles away. You're in the middle of nowhere. You hop in your car. You start going towards this doctor's office. You go down this dirt road. There's this blinking sign that says doctor. There's these wooden stairs. You start walking up. You're like, dude, this is the doctor's office? I feel terrible. And you walk in there, and that's what the reception area looks like. How are you going to feel?
Unsafe.
Unsafe. You're like, bro, I ain't letting this doctor touch me. That could be the best doctor in the world. But this is what happens to so many people. When I talk about people suffering from self-doubt while others are intimidated by your full potential, you're literally messing up the furniture in your reception area halfway through the day. You have a challenge. Something happens. Right? You might want to write this one down. He who angers you controls you. Right? Stop letting people in. So that's none of my business. If somebody wants to get upset, I'm not going to let that affect my day. Because what people do is they mess over their stuff in their reception area all day, and then when they have a good look, they're not as contagious. When is a salesperson more contagious than any other time?
Right after
They get a sale. I go to knock doors. I got 3 5-star recruits with me. I'm like, bro, come on, we're gonna go crush it. I'm literally listening to Rich Homie Quan some type of way. I got that custom Breitling, feeling really good, and I'm literally yelling at myself in the field. On the way to the field in the car, I'm like, bro, we're gonna crush. We got 3 5-star recruits. These kids were making $100,000 a year. They were like, oh, we're big ballers. And I'm like, dude, we're gonna show them some big baller money. People tell you to get a real job, tell them, hey, you got a real job when you start making big boy or big girl money. So I get to the field, I say, hey guys, let's go. The first person we're gonna talk to is gonna be a sale. Watch this. And I'm walking up the driveway, I'm like, bro, this is a done deal. We already got our first one on the board. And they're like, really? And I'm like, yeah. What's crazy is she was cooking spaghetti last night and he was playing Fortnite and she was complaining about the electric bill because it keeps going up and she thinks it's because he plays Fortnite. She doesn't know that the cost per kilowatt keeps going up. And he goes, how do you know this information? I said, don't worry about it. IASM, I am sold myself. This would be ridiculous. They were already talking about this. This is a done deal. I knock the door. I go through my presentation. You see people react to my range, my volume, my pace, and my diction, even when they don't understand the words. My body language, my tonality, just 7% of the words that I speak actually matter. It's that confidence of knowing the fact that the deal was done before I knocked on the door. I go through my presentation. He goes, this is a gated community. There were solar guys out here last week. You're not supposed to be here. And he slams the door in my face. I'm like, bro, that was nasty. We are on fire today. Let's go, let's go. And these kids are looking around like, he's got rejected. Well, rejection turns me on. I go to the second house. I'm like, dude, it was actually her that was upset at her husband about the Fortnite. And I knock on the door, and I go through my presentation, and she goes, this is a gated community. You're not supposed to be here. You have your solicitor's payment. And slams the door in my face. I'm like, dude, that was nasty, dude. We were on fire today. We were just presenting on fire. And the third and the fourth door, and I get off that fourth door, and I'm like, bro, we are crushing it. And these kids were like, dude, is this kid crazy? Right? 6 doors, getting the door slammed in my face. Well, guess what? That rejection turned me on. But I stayed contagious. I'm like, bro, this is the best day we've ever had. You know? Talk about in Canada. I went up to Canada. Guy was paying $50 a month on his bill. And I'm walking up the driveway. I'm going to the appointment. I was like, what's the monthly I got to get to him? He's like, $170. I'm like, bro, what'd you put the PPW at? You're gonna make me triple his bill? And then I checked myself and said, a good deal is a state of mind. I said, Phil, you have like the best system I've ever seen. He's like, I knew it. My house gets crushed in sun. So I'm like 7 doors straight of getting the door slammed in my face, and I'm like, we're crushing it. And I go up to a home, and the lady allows me to go into the home. I take her through the process. She loved me at the end of the process. It was the same day, and she said, you should talk to my neighbor Roger across the street. Let me walk you over there. I walk over to Roger's house. Another neighbor sees me outside. I say, hey, give me 1 second. I'm going to go talk to her. Hey, I got to finish up with Roger and Debbie. Once I finish up with them, I'll come to you. I was only out there for 2.5 hours getting maybe 9 people that said no, and then 4 hours into it, we had 3 self-gen same days. But it's because I was able to stay contagious the entire day. Whether you're in sales, no matter what, you're in communication, you're in persuasion. You're in the business of communicating, you're in the business of persuading. And if you can learn from that lesson of saying, hey, I'm gonna stay contagious at every single time, that's why we have to keep our reception area clean. You see, there's a game that Mr. Tom Hopkins taught me. Tom Hopkins is my mentor. He's an individual that really helped me. And how many of you guys have a 4-digit code on your cell phone? Okay? How many of you guys have a 4-digit code in your mind? I'm going to teach you what the 4-digit code in your mind is, right? When people are negative, when you have these encounters that happen to you, Tom Hopkins taught me this game. It's called the zip-zip game. It works a little something like this. Zip, zip, zip. I am now in my positive shell. I'm going to show you again. Zip, zip, zip. I am now in my positive shell. I want you guys to play with me. Okay, get your zippers ready. Get your zippers ready. Get your zippers ready. Come on, I want it to be done perfect in cadence. Okay? On 3. 1, 2, 3. Zip, zip, zip. I am now in my positive shell. Okay, you're allowed to do that around your friends. You are not allowed to do it around your spouse. I'm not going to have it. Well, Taylor taught me it at the seminar, you know. By the way, this isn't a seminar. I'm here to throw a party with you guys. You're all my friends, and I'm rooting for you. This is the year you're going to make it. This is the year you're going to put your last name on your back, because those decisions you make are going to decide your wealth. Let's go. So that's a zip-zip game, but do it around your friends. When people are negative around you, just say, whoa, whoa, whoa. Zip, zip, zip. I'm now in my positive shell. Because people that you meet will either inspire you or drain you. That's the bar right there. People you meet will either inspire you and help you get better, or they're going to drain you. So that's why you got to surround yourself with the right people. You got to find your tribe. One of the best parts about doing this over the course of the last 17 years. Currency for me, not money. It's relationships. You're not going to remember how much money you make in a year, but you're going to remember the people that you made it with. You don't know what I want? When I'm 75 years old and I'm sitting on my rocking chair with all my boys or my girls or all my friends, and I'm looking around and we're talking about, hey, remember that time? We're smoking a cigar, maybe some CBD, I don't know what it will be at that time. But we're just enjoying life and saying, hey, because when we die, we ain't taking nothing with us, but we're going to have the memories and the people that we made it, and we're going to be able to look at all the people that we were able to impact. Why do I train sales professionals? Because I think of the thousands of salespeople that never made it. Sales is not easy. Door-to-door sales is one of the hardest things. 99% of people don't do what we do because 99% of people couldn't handle the rejection. But that's why we're paid so much, because we're paid in the direct proportion to the problems that we can solve. And the third portion is the behavior. Okay, what you do occasionally changes nothing every single time. I'm going to repeat that. What you do occasionally changes nothing every single time. A lot of you guys have made to-do lists on things that you need to do, and you set goals. How many of you guys set goals? You want to hear the crazy thing about goal setting is the average person spends more time planning out their 2-week vacation in every single detail than their life's blueprint. To be terrific, you must be... What was it?
Specific.
To be terrific, you must be specific. Visualize what you want and have the courage to verbalize it and watch what happens. But a lot of people have to unpack something. When we talk about you guys have a decision to make, the decision to be a professional, to take the path of the pro, or to take the path of the amateur, you have to ask yourself this question: what is your kryptonite? Every single one of you guys knows what your kryptonite is. You know, I stopped vaping a month ago, dude. I feel so good about my life, right? And there's probably a few guys that have vapes in your pocket that you gotta get rid of, bro. I'm telling you, the small little things on kryptonite, bro, that's not helping my life. Right? And a lot of you guys are like, damn, dude, I did that shit for 4 years. I was a slave to my vape. I was literally like, dude, I need my vape, right? I told Jordan one day, I was like, dude, I'm leaving my vape at the house. We go to the office. I'm like 1 hour into it. I'm like, bro, drive me to the vape store, right? What's your kryptonite? What are the things that are actually helping or hurting your life? It's the small little things, right? Commit now and figure it out later. Commit now and figure it out later, right? Throw those vapes away. If there's a trash can, anybody wants to throw it away, go do it right now. Get out of your seat and go throw it away. This isn't a seminar to tell you to quit vapes, but it is to tell you that every single one of you guys has a kryptonite that you need to unpack and say, hey, I'm done. I'm making that decision because those decisions that you make decide your wealth. Maybe it's something else. And we're going to get into it a little bit more as we go into it because there's a certain individual that's wanting you to do these things. Anybody know who this guy is? Who is it? What number did Allen Iverson wear? 3. All right, let's play the video.
It's easy to talk about. It's easy to sum it up when you just talk about
We're talking about practice.
Practice. We in here talking about
Practice, Jordan Presley.
I mean, listen, we're talking about
practice. Right? Trivia. Who believes practice makes perfect? Okay. Who believes practice does not make perfect? Who believes perfect practice makes perfect? Practice does not make perfect, only perfect practice makes perfect. Who said that?
You. Bill McCarthy?
Practice does not make perfect, only perfect practice makes perfect. Who said that?
Neil Armstrong.
When you win the Super Bowl, you win this trophy. Oh, right here, Vince Lombardi, the Vince Lombardi trophy. Send me a DM on Instagram. I'm gonna send you some Knoxstar shirt, some Knoxstar stuff. Hey, give it up for him. He flew in from Utah today for the training. And I talked to him from before. He's from Mexico. I've been practicing. Practicar mi español muy mucho. You know, banquillo español, but mucho practicar. And un año, mi español es perfecto. So it's my challenge for myself. I gotta practice. Here's the formula, okay? I'm gonna give you a lot of formulas. Clarity creates conviction. Conviction creates the belief. Belief creates the energy. Energy creates repetition. Repetition creates service. Service creates your life's work. And your life's work creates freedom. That's what you guys are all working towards. You're working towards freedom. You're trying to set yourself up, your family, for years to come. Like we talked about at the beginning, starting from the bottom isn't a deficit, that's a gift. Your family probably never had an opportunity like you have sitting right in front of you. You mean be nice or be blunt right now? You're being selfish if you don't take advantage of the opportunity sitting right in front of you. You're being selfish because if you can put your last name on your back, how many of you guys really want to make it? Like, how many of you guys really want to go pro? I bet only 10% of people will do what I say right now, but if you do this, you're much more likely to actually accomplish that. You find who your who is. You find the person that you're working hard for. You call them. Maybe it's your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your friend, whoever that might be. And you call them. You do this exactly like I say and watch what happens. You say, hey mom, I want to have a real serious conversation with you. Can we meet for dinner tonight? Well, what do you want to talk about? Well, I'll talk to you about dinner. It's super important, but we need to talk. And you sit them down at dinner, or wherever that might be, and you say, hey, we need to talk. And they're like, what's going on? You say, hey, this is the year we're going to make it. This is the year I'm setting us up for decades. What's crazy is my top student within my Knoxstar program is going to earn $2 million this year, his first year selling solar. $2 million. No overrides, no centers, completely self-gens all of his accounts. $2 million. You look at the individual that might earn $100,000 in a year that might be fist pumping right before he gets into the club, like somebody that fist pumps when they, okay the documents but doesn't get the install. They earn $100,000 in a year. Well, this individual, Ben, could go to Hawaii for the next 19 years, hang out on the beach, while that individual makes $100,000 every year for 20 straight years. Then Ben could come back from Hawaii and be like, okay, now we're tied. Commit now and figure it out later. Risk is the down payment for success. But you gotta believe in yourself. First level of leadership, who do you have to lead? You have to lead yourself. Who do you have to believe in? Yeah, you have to believe in yourself. When I first started as a golf caddy, I went to the caddy orientation. And I looked at all the other caddies and I made the decision before I started that I was gonna be the best caddy. When I first got into door-to-door sales, I was in a movie theater with hundreds of people and I made the decision. I had an absolute certainty at the very beginning. There was no wavering thoughts, there was no like, hey, what if I do this? Like, there was no like, hey, I'm 1 foot in, 1 foot out. It's, hey, I'm going all in. But the reason why was because I had a better who than everybody else. And that was my dad. This is Tom Hopkins. I want to show you guys a video.
Is the day you realize that attitude in selling is everything. Attitude is something you must build within yourself. You see, the most important thing you've got every day is your enthusiasm, your excitement for the job that you do in serving people. People will say yes to you more in your conviction, your excitement, your enthusiasm than anything else. And if you don't have it in here, you can't transmit it out there.
As they drill, they rehearse. How often do you sit in front of a mirror and give your presentation and they laugh? Yet you study so hard to pass an exam to avoid an F to impress your parents. What we're giving you is